The Veiled Dominion descended on New Carthage without warning. It was humanity's jewel among the frontier colonies, a thriving hub of trade and learning. Its cities nestled between oceans and mountains, its skies filled with passenger craft and merchant haulers. Peaceful, unarmed, unsuspecting. The Veil came not as diplomats, nor even conquerors, they came as executioners. Their fleet of scythe-shaped warships dropped from hyperspace like a swarm of shadows, cutting through orbitals, defense satellites, and civilian liners in minutes. The planet's meager garrison fired in desperation, but their railguns and point defense were gnats against the Dominion's storm. On the Veil command deck, Admiral Sirac watched the slaughter with idle disinterest. His mandibles clicked in amusement as cities below erupted in firestorms. Millions screamed into open channels, begging for mercy, calling for Earth, praying to gods both human and alien. Their cries went unanswered. The Veil's orders were absolute. Erase New Carthage. Not enslave. Not occupy. Erase. And so, Sirac obliged. The Veil bombarded the surface for hours, reducing towers and monuments to rubble, burning forests, turning oceans black with ash. Tens of millions perished before the survivors' voices finally fell silent. When the last city fell, the Admiral gave his final order. Leave nothing standing. Humanity must know. Their fires are extinguished. Their time is done. The Veil fleet withdrew, leaving behind only a smoldering husk of a once proud colony. New Carthage was gone. The arrogance of victory, in the weeks that followed, the Veiled Dominion celebrated. Their message spread across the galaxy's comm networks. Humanity had been struck, their frontier colony annihilated, their reach humbled. Where humans had once claimed strength, the Veil showed fragility. Where humans had promised unity, the Veil demonstrated division. Sirac himself stood before the Dominion's High Council, delivering the proclamation with venomous pride. The humans believed themselves eternal fire, he hissed, but they are not flame, they are ash. Their colony burned with hardly a cry, their fleets too scattered, too small, too weak to respond. Earth is a hollow ember, dim and fading. The galaxy should no longer fear the smoke of a dying hearth. The chamber erupted in cold laughter. Other species, clients, rivals, opportunists, whispered agreement. Humanity had always been troublesome, too bold, too defiant, too unwilling to kneel. If their frontier could be erased so easily, perhaps the Veil were right. Perhaps Earth was finished. Merchants withdrew trade from human ports. Treaties were reconsidered. Old enemies circled like vultures across the stars. One phrase echoed in smug certainty. They thought Earth's fire out, the silence before the storm. But Earth did not respond, not immediately. For months, no fleets launched, no ambassadors thundered, no armies mobilized. The galaxy took this silence as proof of defeat. The humans mourned, yes, but they did not strike back. Their voices on the comm networks grew quiet. Their colonies shuddered in grief. The Dominion's council gloated. See how quickly they bend. The humans are civilized after all, too civilized for war. Yet, beneath the silence something stirred. Earth was listening. Earth was remembering. Deep beneath Luna's surface, shipyards once thought dormant awoke. On Mars, old war foundries burned to life, pouring steel and plasma into forms unseen for generations. The Oort defenses shifted, their networks pulsing with encrypted chatter. Scouts of other empires reported strange movements. Ghost convoys in the black, fleets masked by gravity shadows, silent war forms drifting just beyond telescope range. Something was coming, and when it came, it did not come as whispers. It came as thunder. The awakening of ashes, the first sign was at the rim of Dominion space. A Veil patrol picked up a signal, faint, broken, repeating. A distress beacon, ancient, human. Curious, they closed in, only to find not a derelict ship, but a waiting predator. Out of the void, a vessel emerged, black-hulled, angular, scarred by centuries yet alive with lethal power. The humans called it Ash Phoenix, a dreadnought mothballed since the last solar war. Now it burned with new purpose. Before the Veil could even react, the Phoenix opened fire. Its spinal cannon tore their lead cruiser apart in a single incandescent flash. Its drones swarmed, tearing into escort craft like wolves among cattle. Within minutes, the patrol was gone, snuffed out as easily as New Carthage had been. But the message was clear. The ashes burned still. Then came more. Old names long thought retired. Iron Tempest, St. George, Valkyrie, dreadnoughts and carriers and Titan ships rising from slumber. The Terran fleets moved with a silence that was more terrible than any roar. They did not broadcast threats. They did not ask for negotiations, they simply advanced. The thunder of retribution. When Earth struck, it was not with hesitation. It was with fury distilled into steel. The Dominion's frontier worlds burned first. Garrisons, colonies, outposts, all were annihilated in hours. The human fleets appeared without warning, their mass drives shattering fortresses, their orbital strikes erasing cities. The Veil panicked. They threw fleets to intercept, but humanity had not been idle in their silence. Their ships were faster, cloaked in adaptive stealth, bristling with weapons unseen in centuries. Entire squadrons of Veil destroyers vanished under kinetic barrages that hit with the force of mountains. On one battlefield above the gas giant Draskel, the Dominion sent 3 grand armadas, nearly 500 warships. Humanity sent 70. Only 3 human ships fell. Not a single Veil vessel survived. Comms captured fragments of the battle. Human commanders giving curt, surgical orders, their voices cold as winter. No rage, no mercy, only inevitability. "The Dominion declared our fire gone," one admiral said as her fleet leveled a planetary citadel. "Let them learn how long embers burn." Her words became legend, the annihilation, and then Earth unleashed its armies. Dropships rained from orbit, black as night, carrying the Terran Legion. These were not peacekeepers. These were not negotiators. These were soldiers forged from generations of survival. Their armor thunder-walking, their weapon storms given form. On Dominion worlds, the Veil looked to the skies and saw entire horizons filled with descending fire. The ground quaked as the legions marched, crushing resistance with pitiless precision. Cities that had cheered the fall of New Carthage now wept as Terran banners rose over their ruins. It was not conquest. It was message. Every strike, every bombardment, every landing screamed across the galaxy. Humanity does not forget. Humanity does not forgive. From the ashes of one lost colony, the fire had spread into an inferno. The last council. The Dominion's High Council gathered in desperation, their once proud arrogance gone. Reports streamed in, fleets destroyed, planets aflame, generals dead. One trembling minister whispered, "They were supposed to be ash. How can ash still burn?" Admiral Cyrak, the butcher of New Carthage, had no answer. His fleets were shattered, his name cursed, his arrogance hollow. And then the humans arrived. Not envoys, not diplomats. A single Terran dreadnought appeared in orbit above the Dominion's capital. Silent and immense, its guns trained upon the heart of their empire. The humans broadcast one message, heard across every channel, every world. "Every species, you thought our fire gone. You were wrong. Ashes burn, the Dominion's capital fell that night. Not slowly, not mercifully. In a blaze of light that turned its spires into molten rivers, its proud towers into shadows upon the ground. Cyrak died watching the fire he had mocked consume all he had sworn eternal." The aftermath. When the storm passed, silence reigned. The Veil Dominion was no more. Its fleets scattered, its worlds broken, its people left to whisper in fear. Other empires, who had once laughed at humanity's supposed weakness, now watched with dread. The galaxy had seen what humanity's vengeance meant. It was patient, silent, absolute. From New Carthage's ashes had risen not despair, but fury. And that fury had scoured a Dominion from the stars. No one dared speak ill of Earth again. Instead, in hushed tones, across taverns, war councils, and encrypted channels, one phrase spread like a warning, like a prayer, like a curse. "Never provoke Earth, their patience is vast, but their vengeance is infinite."